Hi guys, so I used to be the queen of one-take videos, and then I got a fancy laptop and I could edit a bunch. Now I have an even fancier desktop and I edit a whole bunch, but tonight I just don't have the time. So I am going to do YouTube's direct upload webcam recording, so the quality is going to be awful, the lighting is going to be awful. Just listen to the melodic tones of my voice, please. And ignore the shiny. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I owe you guys an update of how the cycle is going. And I'm going to kind of fumble my way through it because it's just been kind of crazy. I'm going to do a separate video uploaded onto the TheBubblelush, or to the DailyLush, excuse me, explaining like kind of what's been going on with that channel, because I promise it's not my fault. But this is just going to be about what is up with this cycle. I would love to know what is up with this cycle. I would love to. I'm going to open up my calendar just to make it a little clearer to me. So I left off and it was cycle day 3. I was just going to start my injections and start my monitoring. So the game plan was to start with 75 units of Follistim and go in for an ultrasound and blood work to test my E2 or estradiol level every 3 to 4 days. So I did the first, my husband gave me the first injection on Sunday night, and it was no problem at all. The Follistim does not sting. The needle of the pin is really, really tiny, and so you might be able to feel the needle going in, but it doesn't hurt unless you some places in your skin are a little more sensitive than others, but for the most part, 90% of the time, it doesn't hurt. It just is a little pinch. And I'm a weenie when it comes to needles, so I'm not being tough here. The medicine itself does not sting, it doesn't burn, it doesn't ache, it doesn't really even cause a bruise for me, and I bruise fairly easily, so the Follistim has been super easy, and the side effects have been minimal. It's been a breakout. I've been breaking out all over some of my neck, which is weird, and on my middle of my cheeks, like the fleshy part of your cheek, which is like so painful when you get a zit there. I feel like I'm 13. That part of it sucks, but I can deal with breakouts because you have makeup. I am just thankful that I haven't had the moodiness, the craziness, the hot flashes, like none of that. So that's kind of about Follistim. So I went in for an ultrasound 3 to 4 days afterwards, what it was probably like cycle day 7 or 8, and there really wasn't anything going on. My ovaries looked really quiet. I had lots of little tiny follicles, but nothing was growing yet. And I wasn't concerned because I'm on a low dose of Follistim. We were doing, so bright. We were doing the low and slow approach. Low dose for a long amount of time. Because we don't want to do, we don't want to overstimulate. We don't want to get ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome? Yeah, OHSS. Don't want to deal with that. I don't want to produce so many follicles that we have to have IVF discussion because we cannot afford IVF. We could afford IVF, but then I would never be able to stay home with Hannah. So we just want to produce 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 good follicles, and that's it. So we have to just be patient. So I wasn't freaked out when I didn't have any follicles at first. And I went in another 3 to 4 days later, and there was 1 follicle that was like 10 by 12. I went in another 3 days later, and there was like 1 follicle that was still kind of 10 by 12, and another one that was like 9 by 11. And I have like 15 follicles on my left side and like 20 follicles on my right side, but they're all kind of small. And so they bumped up my dose to 125 units of Follistim. And still I wasn't responding. A little bit, and now I had like 3 medium-sized follicles, but they weren't getting over that hump, and the scary thing was my estrogen level was staying really low. It was between like 40 and 60. It's low. We're looking for it to like, it just stays pretty, and then it goes up to like 200, 300, and then it's like 600. Like, we want it to exponentially grow, and mine was just like petering along. And so then they bumped me up to 150, And after they bumped me up to 150, I had a slight decrease in my estrogen. And by decrease, I mean like it went down by 5, which in the grand scheme of things is nothing, but psychologically is like devastating. I went in for an ultrasound on Monday morning. I was on 150 units of Follistim. I had been on that for 3 days, and it looked like crap. Honestly, I don't even know. Like, there was maybe 4 follicles that were mid-range, but they were still like 9 by 13, 10 by 12. One was like 11 by 14. Like, they're still small. And I found out that my estrogen had gone up to like 140. And at that appointment on Monday, I got my blood work back later yesterday afternoon, and it had fallen down to 60. Like, it takes me so long to just get a little bit of ground and get up to like the hundreds, and then to fall down. I'm like scared that this cycle is going to get canceled. So they had me drive all the way back to the hospital in rush hour traffic with Hannah on 0 notice to pick up another drug before the pharmacy closed that night because they wanted me to start it. In addition to 150 units of Follistim, every night I will be taking 75 units of Menopur. Menopur is Follistim, I can't even talk tonight, follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, in combination with luteinizing hormone, LH. And I haven't had a chance to talk to my doctor about this. I just got I talked to the nurse on the line, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and actually talk to my doctor. So I'm not positive of why he added the Menopur, but from what I see online, it looks like Menopur is added when they're concerned about egg quality, which at this point, I'm concerned about egg quality. I have been on injections for like nearly 3 weeks, and it's just so annoying. It's annoying because it's not because the medicine really hurts. I mean, the Menopur shots sting. They sting. It's that you're so used to a 28-day cycle, and maybe on the Femara it takes an extra 2 to 3 days. You know, maybe you trigger on cycle day 16, maybe cycle day 18, but this is like there's no ovulation in sight, and I feel like I've been on the cycle for like a month. It hasn't been that long, but it feels like it, and it's also just kind of concerning because, you know, you're always told that like Clomid is the first step, and then Femara is kind of like the half step in between. But like injectables is where it's at. Like, you are going to respond to injectables, and I feel like I'm here. Like, I never thought I would be at injectables. It was an easier pill to swallow because insurance covers the medication. Otherwise, I mean, my goodness, I would be looking at well over $2,000 in medication if my insurance wasn't covering it so far. So that's scary. You know, I mean, that's kind of scary. If my insurance wasn't covering it, I would be paying about $150 a night in Follistim, and who even knows about the Menopur? Thankfully, the Menopur was covered as well. I didn't know that it was going to be, and I just called Chris and I was like, how much room is on the credit card? Because I'm going and picking this up, and I'm going to pick it up, and I don't know what they're going to charge me, but I'm going to pay it. And so I had that credit card ready, and she was like, and that'll be $30. And I was just like, so blessed. I am so blessed. I have amazing insurance, and that is a huge weight off my shoulders. But now I'm just hoping that this Menopur helps me to respond, you know? It's just kind of scary, the idea of going through all of this. And granted, this is just kind of a troubleshooting cycle. I get that. They don't know how well I'm going to respond, and I know that they're changing my dosage based on how well I'm responding. So I get it that this is kind of a troubleshooting cycle, and if I need to have a second cycle on injectables, it'll probably go smoother. But this has been so different than like a Clomid Femara cycle, where, you know, you go in once at your mid-cycle ultrasound and it either worked or it didn't work, and then you can kind of get over it and you can move on. And with this injectable cycle, it just feels like it's never ending. and it's because you're monitored so frequently. I know I sound like I'm complaining, and in a way I am, but I'm just kind of being honest with my frustrations with this cycle, and it's not even necessarily frustrations, it's just kind of anxiety to have gone through all of this and spent all this time and, you know, giving yourself a shot and now 2 shots every night is kind of sucks. Let's just be honest here, it kind of sucks. So that is where I'm at so far this cycle. I'm basically still in the first 2 weeks of the cycle. I haven't even ovulated yet. Like, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So I'm not pregnant. I'm not like hiding it from you guys. My radio silence has not really been related at all to how well this cycle is going. Completely different, unrelated thing. But I just wanted to let you guys know, because I know some of you are worried. Some of you are thinking I'm hiding a pregnancy from you guys. I'm not. But hopefully I will be in a couple weeks. I really hope this cycle works. I feel like a lot is riding on it, and I'm trying to just kind of relax and let it go. And honestly, I only get kind of anxious about it when I sit down and think about how long the cycle's going. But the day-to-day, like 99% of the day, I'm not really thinking about it. And yeah, you know, it'll happen. What's meant to happen will happen. And I think at this point I'm just kind of concerned about egg quality, and I'm trying to change my thought process, because I'm so used to thinking that, like, if I haven't grown a follicle by cycle day 14, 16, maybe 18, then they're going to cancel the cycle. And I'm like way past that, and we haven't had the cancel the cycle talk yet. But we might this week, who knows? I don't know. So if you guys could send me baby dust and follicle stimulating hormone, just send me some good luck. I would really appreciate it, and I will try to keep you updated on this cycle as best I can. And definitely when it's, you know, if the cycle is canceled, or if we schedule an IUI, I will let you guys know, because I need some support and some well wishes, because at this point it feels like it's going to take a miracle to get me pregnant. My body is just saying no, 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 no. So anyways, I hope you guys are having better luck with your cycles than I am, and thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for all the love and concern and questions and support. You guys are really good at giving me support, and I really appreciate it. So I hope you are having a wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.